Alright, back at the hangar again, and totally actually forgot to do video today. We just got right into it. George is doing the spark plugs. We found that 3 of the spacers came out.
3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, when we did them out, so we took them out, cleaned them. Number 4 cylinder was still a little wet, you said?
Number 4, yep.
Yep. And what are the torque specs on that?
35 to 40 pounds. No, sorry, 35 to 45 pounds according to Lightspeed.
And that's on the actual adapter ring here, the spacer.
And then the other ones are 15 to 20, I think 15 to 20 pounds for the plugs.
All right. Good news is these things seem to be holding tight. I took the opportunity to raise this up. When we were in flight, I noticed this was up a little bit, about like that, in straight and level flight, which I'm guessing by raising this up, similar to Steve Cox, I think he did 15 millimeters at the leading edge. So we haven't flown it yet. We're going to see what that brings. Sorry, didn't capture any video, but the screw inside here, which for the Titan engine was all the way down on the top screw. I moved it up 7.5 turns, which is equal to a 1/4 inch between the bottom head of the Allen, the bottom of the Allen head screw and the little mount that it's on. Yeah, take this off, take that off, take the tail cone off so you can get at everything. And then, yeah, you can see here. So that 1/4 inch turn at the screw mount ended up being, looks like about a 1/2 inch, or I don't know, close to 15 millimeters. So we'll see what that brings. It's going to be a little bit of trial and error. But now I was going to try the smoke oil. So we got a little pump. We're going to pump that into the tank here, and then we got to activate it, and we got to measure at least a 1/2 gallon of smoke oil per minute. So let's see how much of a mess we can make. Alright, so what I did is I poured a 1/2 gallon of water in here and basically marked it, and then activated the smoke switch, and then hit the smoke button here that triggers the relay, that triggers the pump back here. And I kind of just guessed, for starters, that valve is 1.5 turns open, so I wrote it on there, and that right off the bat yielded, after 1 minute of flowing, you know, a 1/2 of a gallon out of both cylinders. So that's what the instructions call for. So good start, got lucky there. And in case you're wondering, this is the system, the pump and stuff that we use. We made our own tank, but that's the pump. And it's called Smoke System Helper. I think the guy's name is Jim, real nice guy, and he put all the pieces together. We have the injector going into the cylinders that have the most run. You want them high but below the EGT, and then you have one on this side which feeds this pipe, and then you have one on this side which feeds that pipe. So basically you want to put the injectors on the longest run to burn the most amount of smoke. Somebody with a lot more experience, well, pretty much anybody has more experience than I do in this, but also said not to use colored smoke because it'll actually stain the airplane body. So we used stuff I got from Aircraft Spruce, and also want to make sure that none of the lines leak. So this should be fun. Alright, I'm going to give you some good advice, and that is Before you pressurize your oil injection line, make sure your AN fittings are tight. I have no idea how I missed it, but all the interior was in, all of that. Everything was beautiful. And then we noticed a big puddle, not a big puddle, but a puddle there. And it was literally coming out of this part of the fuselage and dripping down here. That's just degreaser now. But yeah, literally forgot. No torque seal, because that's my mark that I tightened it. And I totally didn't tighten that one. So, always an adventure. Tell the tower. Whoa! Well, that worked. That blew a lot of smoke. It did, the whole thing. That's why I said tell the tower before he gets worried.
Okay, so only residual noise I hear is when the strobes are on, not even the navs.
Strobes, well, the navs are solid. So you hear the blinking of the strobes?
Yes.
Oh, that's weird. Did we have that before?
I think we've always had that, and that's always been on both of them, but it hasn't been as loud as the clicking from the ignition.
Alright, so the ignition is all set?
I think the ignition clicking is gone.
Alright, so what we found is that this spark plug cap wasn't on all the way. The spark plug wire, like it was just pushed off a little bit, and it is a little bit tight right underneath here. To like push it on all the way, you have to force it against this one and the mount. And that seemed to have resolved that, because we were talking about putting insulation on here, but I don't see why it would be arcing on the low voltage side. But yeah, that's that, I guess.